Sawadika, you are with me, Kasama Kovin from International Relations Office, and you are with us at SIIR International News. Today, I have a great chance to talk to two brand new researchers from the Research Excellence Center. As you may know, Research Excellence Center is one of the pride of SIIR. So today, we will talk to Dr. Wanwisa Dejnirattisai, and another one is Dr. Nathachit Limjunyawong. So let's go and talk to them.
My name is Dr. Wanwisa Dejnirattisai. I basically graduated in my Ph.D. in immunology from Faculty of Medicine, Siriraj Hospital.
Currently, I recently joined the Faculty of Medicine, Siriraj Hospital as a research lecturer in Center of Research Excellence in Allergy and Immunology.
During my Ph.D., I got the Royal Golden Jubilee Scholarship, and this scholarship gave me an opportunity to be trained at the University of Oxford for 4 years. After completing my PhD, I then accepted a position as a research fellow at the Imperial College London before returning to the University of Oxford again. So I eventually spent almost 20 years in the research in the UK before coming back to Thailand and joined Division of the Emerging Infectious Disease, the Faculty of Medicine, Siriraj Hospital.
So I start my scientific career since my undergrad study at the Department of Biology, Faculty of Science, Chulalongkorn University, where I was working on a little small project looking at the sex steroid hormone and lung development. And then I was extremely honored enough to receive the scholarship from Anand Thamidon Foundation for my graduate study. So with this support, I was accepted into PhD program at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, where I start looking at genetic predisposition and environmental factor that could impact immunological pathway in several respiratory diseases such as COPD, pulmonary fibrosis, or allergic asthma. I continue my scientific career as a postdoctoral fellow at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine in Professor Shin Jong-dong's lab. He's also an investigator at Harvard Hughes Medical Institute, who is the world-renowned expert on pain and itch sensation. So I have been working on several pathways to identify the mechanism of pain and itch.
Talking about my expertise, my research actually mainly focused on studying the immune responses to the paved virus, both T cells and the antibody response to particularly dengue virus. The aim of this study is actually to understand the pathogenesis of the severe dengue disease, as well as to understand the antibody response to this virus to inform the next generation of the vaccine design. However, if you remember that during the last 3 years with the COVID-19, the pandemic, I have pivoted my research to the SARS-CoV-2. I reverted my skills and expertise to study the immune responses to the SARS-CoV-2 instead of the dengue from then.
So during my postdoc, our group has been working on a group of the receptor that responsible for the itch sensation. We call in EC like itch receptor, which act as like a sensor to detect something that might be potentially harmful to your body, or something even inside your body that alert you that something going on that maybe go wrong in the body.
I would say that talking about my publications, so far I have up more than 50 publications in distinguished journals. For example, like my first publication when I was a PhD student in the Nature Medicine. This publication is actually about the role of the T cells in the pathogenesis of the dengue infections.
When we talk about itch, people always talk about itch and pain together. And then lots of people think that itch is a low-grade or mild form of pain. So few people study itch comparing to pain. But based on statistics, we know that itch and pain can cause the impact on quality of life at the similar level. So lots of individuals can suffer from chronic or severe itch. Those people cannot sleep well. Those people cannot work like normal as other people. And then there are some particular drugs that can cause severe itch too, and patients refuse to take those drugs. You can see that itch is something that we should be concerned as well. And then the research from our team, while I was a postdoc, helped explain those kind of questions about mechanism of itch. And then I think with discovery of this receptor, it's well accepted in the field right now that itch and pain has different mechanism pathway. Itch has their own neuronal pathway that people sense the itch, which is different from the pain, although there's some connection between itch and pain. So our group has identified a lot of receptors in this family that express on the neuron or the nerve cells that sending the ending to the skin, and then detect all of the drug that cause itch or the substance that cause itch.
And I also have another publication in Science, Nature Immunology. And this series of the publication is actually about the antibody responses to dengue. And this is what I mentioned, that study of this kind of immune response, then we can inform the next generation of the dengue vaccine design.
But we also identified that this receptor expressed on the mast cells has a role in mast cell function by activating it to secrete something else, and then play a big role in the reaction. Some reactions, such as the reaction that look like allergic but actually is not allergic, and we call it pseudo-allergic response, which can be severe, immediate, and life-threatening. Now, currently, there are a lot of companies are in the race of trying to identify potential drug to target this receptor in order to block itch.
And as I mentioned, during the last 3 years with the COVID-19 start, I focus on the SARS-CoV-2. My study is actually about the study of the antibody responses to this virus, and I have a series of 7 publications in Cells. The study from this SARS-CoV-2 have really high impact on the research of the COVID-19 as well as the public health of the England. To be honest, during the last 10 to 20 years of my research, I think one of the most important things is that we shouldn't stop learning.
So I think the key thing is science moves very fast. So we have to be alert all the time, and please keep your eyes and your mind open to learn, to be ready to learn all the new things all the time. You might not need it today, but it might be able to integrate into your work and advance your work into another level at some point.
In the research, we always encounter people with more experience than us. So learning from these people will help us to go professional faster, and this will open our mind to the new ideas of the research.
As everyone knows, science and technology move very, very fast during these 10 years. Something that you couldn't imagine can be done in a short period of time in the past, it can happen right now. One of the greatest example right now currently is the COVID vaccine. In the past, you never think that you can develop the COVID vaccine in less than a year, but we can do it right now. Or for our case, to look at the structure, particularly in terms of like each receptor in the past, you need to use the technology called X-ray crystallography, which take like at least 5 years to optimize everything to solve the structure of the protein. But with the new technique like cryo-electron microscopy that we have in these 5 to 10 years, everything can be done in 2 or 3 months.
And another thing I think is also important is that working as a teamwork. We know that in the research, all the big projects require more than one perspective, more than one people. So making like a good teamwork will push the research go forward faster than it used to be. I can give you an example like during the last 3 years for this COVID-19. Our lab, everyone in the lab have to push themselves toward this project. They have to quit all their own project at a time. And so during the last 3 years, that's why we have like 7 publications in Cells, and what few more publications in the other paper as well.
Actually, some of that technology or fields like precision medicine is part of our goal for our research. We all know that there are no individuals that exactly identical. And there's also another layer on top of the genetics that's including environmental factors, lifestyles, or behaviors that could potentially affect or impact your genetics or how the genes work as well. We are in Thailand, we live, we eat different food compared to other Western countries. These all contribute to how your body reacts to whatever that the body sees. So the data that come from some other countries probably might not be applicable to Thai people. So that's our job to identify those kind of the factor. One of the big example right now that you probably heard in the news on social media every day, it's about air pollution like PM 2.5. Even PM 2.5 in Thailand, in Bangkok, or in northern part of Thailand like Chiang Rai or Chiang Mai, they are different. And then the impact health on the body differently. Yeah, because that's come from different sources. And then the people, the individual has their own different genetics background as well. So all of these kind of complex, the structure or how the body react to everything, and also different in terms of susceptibility to develop the diseases, or even like the drug or the therapy when you get the disease. So this is our part of our work that we are working it right now. Yeah, so trying to dissect all the environmental factor, genetic factor that could potentially involve in this difference. And in terms of AI, it is another example that we have been working on together too. Yeah. So in the past, to look at like each receptor, if you want to identify the structure, it's very hard. But right now, with the help of AI, you can, if you get the sequence of that receptor, it can help you to predict the structure of the protein without knowing the real structure. And then you can use that to help you to scope down or screen out some potential binder or ligand or the drug that could potentially bind to it from the pool source of a lot of unknown that you never know that which one of like hundreds of thousands of the drug that you might have to try.
My research actually mainly focused on the infectious disease, and so far we know that the infectious disease is not applied to the kind of the precision or the personalized medicine yet. But I think one of my expertise is the generation of the human monoclonal antibody as a therapeutic antibody. So I think this could be applied for the other field of the disease, for example, like cancer, which is linked to the human genomic. Okay, this is really short one. According to my experience, particularly during the COVID-19 emergency, I found that in the field of the research, if you can go faster, then you go bigger.
I think in this modern era, all part of the nation and the world cannot move forward without science and technology. If you look around you, almost everything has the root from the science. They have transformed every aspect of our life, but lots of things remain to be unknown, and then has been waiting for us to be uncovered, and always has a room for the development. So I think this is a fun part to do as a researcher or scientist. My Ph.D. school, Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, has a motto. It is protecting health, saving life, millions at a time. So no matter what the research that you are doing right now, no matter how big, how small it is, it's gonna be pure science, basic science, or applied science. Who knows, one day it might be part of the jigsaw of the big picture or big innovation or big discovery that could impact millions of people or impact the whole world. If you have curiosity in doing research, please keep it.
And don't be afraid to be big. Just think big, then you will get something back big as well.
And use it as a field to feel the designs, to explore and to discover. Everything can be happen. Everything can be possible with the research.